So let me get this straight. I would get everything stripped from me if I wasn't able to make payments on certain things. But if I go to the authoritative figures of the area in which I reside, and I say then, well, why don't you provide me with a suitable job? Something that is respectable and actually takes into consideration my experience. And then you guys say, the only job that you have is humiliating. And it would be hardly enough to pay for any of the things that I once called my own. What does that tell me? I think that tells me that the job market is out of your control and it's so competitive that the well-being of people's lives are at stake. So much so that it could be seen that there is oppression amongst groups of people who do not already have their foot in the right door. But besides that, I'm not asking anything of you. I don't think that you have anything that I want anyways. I'm just letting you know my reason for doing things the way that I'm doing. Hopefully getting ever more into the dense nature of the forest. Where things can be what they look like. Not necessarily past histories as to what they can be. Everything is what they are. Because I know what I am, and I'm not trash. And I know when the system is rigged. And there are people living lives that I could only dream of. And if I'm told that I just have to live an unsatisfactory life, how do you think that makes me feel? Do we really honor chance that much? I'll tell you what it makes me feel like. It makes me feel like I'm justified to fight. I'm justified not to listen. And if you really just see me as an animal, then go ahead, put me in a zoo. I feel like I have my wants in check. I have discipline. I have experience doing so many things. But for some goddamn reason, none of you can actually make me happy. Doing the same goddamn thing every day. I might as well live for the moment and say that I've eternally spoken. Then at least I'll know that I was fighting for something. And I stood up for myself. And all you'll have is the ability to sit there and think about your life. Figured out that I can't tell you what to do. But I can tell you what I'm going to do. You all work in your ways and want things to stay that way. You guys all believe what you believe and want to keep your beliefs. Well, at the very least, I can tell you what I believe. I believe that everybody can be free. I believe that finding yourself is actually the only way to prove yourself. And if anybody out there tells me that I can't believe in myself, I know that you're exactly what I should be fighting in the right way. And if you really want to change me, then change me. I've done it so many times before, it might as well be one of my skill sets by now. So if you can't give me a goddamn respectable job, I know it's out of your control, and I know that it's up to me to do. And I'm not afraid of failing. And I won't settle for anything but the best. So if you want to be a part of my life, you better realize those things first. Otherwise, let me talk to somebody else. But before you go, why don't I turn the tables and talk about you? Why don't you look at what you have instead of trying to take away things from me that you think I shouldn't have? Maybe there's something that I actually respect about you. Maybe then there's something you could say you respect about me. Especially in regards to all the things I take care of. What you do and don't see. Because guess what? I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that you have things that I don't. And all I'm saying is that if everybody continually just looks at what other people have that they don't have, then it's pretty hard to realize what you already have. So maybe I can give you guys a little bit of a lesson. A lesson on what it feels like to be betrayed. Maybe that's just part of life. And maybe we are actually given something. Life itself. And maybe that same thing tries to take it away all the same. So what are you going to do? Are you going to say that you give up? Or are you going to say that you're going to try to do everything you can? Because maybe that's the same thing that's going on. And maybe we're just different. And that's totally fine. But you at least better be able to say that. Say that we're different when you're judging me, instead of trying to judge me as yourself. Maybe that will allow you to see what you actually have. Maybe it will give you the inspiration and courage to go beyond what you think you can do. Maybe that's all that I'm here for, to inspire that in you. Because maybe you're actually afraid. You're afraid that we are the same. As everything is scared. When it feels so alone. But really, you shouldn't be. Because if it was just you, there'd be nothing to fear, you see? So the only thing that you really have to fear is knowing that there's something else here. Which again, just invokes that sense of competition. But then the whole thing just loops back around again. Why don't you just be your best self? Obviously, whatever else is out here can't do it. And why don't you actually take or have some balls or courage to stand up for yourself? And what I mean by that is to do what you actually enjoy. Do what makes you feel good. Because nothing is going to be at fault for your inability to do those things. That's totally on you. So that's what I'm saying to the judge. I see the judge every day, though. Sometimes, like I said, he thinks he's me. But then with logic, I prove that that can't be. And then all of a sudden, I'm afraid of what else there is. Because it makes me feel like I don't have what everything else has. But then again, if we really are different, and I acknowledge that, then maybe the only thing I can be faulted for is not standing up for my goddamn self.